Hi there, I'm Tommy Ferris from Ignition Fitness and welcome to the very first MSCtv Volume 1, Episode 1. What I'm going to be doing with this series is giving you a course preview and training tips that I've chosen based on something that's unique and challenging for each and every Recharge with Milk Triathlon Series race this season. These tips are going to range from how to train for the hills in Gravenhurst, to swim tips for Wasaga Beach, to nutrition tips for racing in the heat on the Toronto Island. I'm hoping you'll be able to take something away from every one of these videos and benefit from them on race day. Now, seeing as this is Volume 1, Episode 1, that means we're going to be starting with the very first race on this year's Recharge with Milk calendar, which is Woodstock. So let's take a look at the course. The race starts and finishes at the Pittock Lake Conservation Area in Woodstock. The swim takes place in the reservoir, which promises calm and warm waters so early in the year. Triathletes will swim the entire course in a clockwise direction, keeping the boys to their right. Out of transition and on your bike, you'll exit the conservation area on the right-hand side of the road, and once fully out of the park, the course heads north up Pittock Park Drive. It's a steady climb for the first 2.5 kilometers, and once you've turned right onto Oxford Road 33, you'll hit the rollers. Now, this is the most challenging part of the course because even with the help of the downslopes of these rollers, you're mostly climbing towards the turnaround. And at the 8K mark, right where the course heads north again on line 16, you'll hit some more rollers. After the turnaround, it's mostly downhill right back the way you came, with only 2 turns before returning to the conservation area. The run course is a mixture of grass, gravel, concrete, stone, trail, and pavement. There are some steep ups and downs, and watch your footing over all the terrain changes. This is a beautiful run course that offers some relief from the sun on hot days, and there will be up to 5 aid stations, depending on your race distance, which should carry you back to the finish line of the conservation area. So now that we have a better idea of what's in store for us in Woodstock, I'm going to give you a workout that simulates those rolling hills on the bike course. Now, in many situations, you can actually use the rolling terrain to your advantage and go faster than you could on a flat course, and that's what we're going to simulate here with this workout today. We'll be doing this workout on an indoor trainer, and you'll need a cadence sensor, and in this case, I'm going to be using a power meter, but you can also do this workout by feel or heart rate, so let's get started. We'll kick things off with an easy 15 minutes done as 10 minutes easy and 5 minutes slowly building to zone 5 or 6, or near maximal effort, for the last 30 seconds. Once that's done and our legs are primed, we're ready for the main set, which starts off with 2 minutes at a cadence of about 85 RPM, with our power output right at lactate threshold. Lactate threshold is the highest average power you can sustain for 1 hour. If you don't know what your threshold power or threshold heart rate is, there are some tests you can do, and this is something we do with all of our Ignition Fitness athletes. But if you don't have those numbers now, just go by feel. Find an honest effort that feels like you can hold it for an hour and start from there. Now, this first 2-minute set is simulating the flats just before the hill starts. The next 2 minutes are at about 90 RPM, with watts at about 15 to 20 above threshold. Both our cadence and power output have come up, which is what we want on rollers that aren't too steep. This part of the workout is simulating where we come into the climb, and we want to be coming into these hills as fast as we can without burning ourselves out. We don't want to be spinning too fast because our riding becomes less efficient at that point, and if we go too hard here, we'll exhaust our legs. So this slightly higher RPM and slightly higher power is going to help us manage our race better. After that, we're going to crest our imaginary hill by riding 1 minute at about 80 RPM at about 30 watts above our lactate threshold. So here our cadence has gone down and our power has come up, which is exactly what we want to happen on the hills. But our power output has only increased to a point that's manageable and won't exhaust us. Now that we're over our hill, it's time for 2 minutes at 95 RPM with our power back at threshold. So now we've brought our cadence up and power down, which is going to simulate riding downhill. Now, this may be the most crucial part of the workout because a lot of people either stop pedaling or pedal too lightly when going downhill, but there's a great opportunity here to gain some free speed. If we can keep our power output up when going down the rollers, we'll come into the next roller at a higher speed. Following this last 2-minute set, we'll recover for 3 minutes and repeat the intervals again 4 times and cool down with 15 minutes of easy spinning for a total workout of about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Well, that's going to do it for this very first episode of MSCtv. I hope you learned something, and I hope you're able to include this workout in your training before racing in Woodstock. I'm Tommy Ferris from Ignition Fitness, and I invite you to check out our website for more information on our coaching and other services, as well as more training videos at ignition-fitness.com. MSCtv.com. Coming up next in this series are some strength training tips for the Multisport Canada Binbrook race. Thanks for watching.